Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pep Fernandez from the Inland Sports Show. Just a quick programming note. In the next couple of weeks and months, we're really going to put a focus on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We got several thousand subscribers. We have over 1 million views. We're uploading new videos each and every week. So we're really going to point you guys, everyone who follows the Inland Sports Show, to the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We will still post on Instagram and Twitter. We're going to post a lot of pictures, maybe some shorter videos, but we really want to put an emphasis on the YouTube channel. So here's what we need from you guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you are subscribed to the Inland Sports YouTube channel and give us a big thumbs up when you watch our videos. We'd really appreciate it. If you've subscribed, maybe tell your teammates, other kids at school, other coaches on your coaching staff, your parents, your grandparents. We'd really appreciate the more subscribers, the better. So subscribe and give us a like. And if you want to take it even further, there's now a thanks button at the bottom as well if you'd like to take your support to the next level and make a small donation so we can continue to bring you great sports coverage here in the Inland Empire. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pep Fernandez, and welcome to an at-home edition of the Inland Sports Show. Our guy, Johnny Nunez, who's the best in the business, has a big science show he's broadcasting this week. So we were planning this for this all along, at-home edition, as we look at Week 7 of the high school football season. We got some really big games, especially in the Rain Cross Conference. We'll talk more about that. I know it's early, but we have games that will decide league champions. We're talking about the Ivy League, the Sun Belt League, and the Inland Valley League, the three leagues inside of the Rain Cross Conference. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But first, our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game this week, and it's a big one. Cajon against Citrus Valley. The Cowboys are your 5-time CBL champions, but there might not be a hotter team right now in the IE than Citrus Valley, coming off a couple huge wins. So the Blackhawks are playing very well right now. But again, if you're Cajon, you're still the team to beat. But that one team in the CBL that you think might give you problems would be the Blackhawks. So it should be a great game between Cajon and Citrus Valley, and no doubter for our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game this week. Can't wait to see these two teams get together for CBL supremacy. So that's our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game. Let's take a look at some of the other big games coming up in Week 7. And again, some games that will definitely have an impact on the league championships this season. Let's start in the Big West Conference. We got Centennial versus Roosevelt. Norco versus Marietta Valley. Also Marietta Mesa and Temecula Valley in the Big West Conference lower division. And then we were talking about the Rain Cross Conference. We got in the Ivy League, Orange Vista against Elsinore. That has huge league title implications. Orange Vista undefeated right now. Elsinore having a great season. In the Middle League, which is the Sun Belt, we got Vista Del Lago and Paloma Valley. Both these teams ranked right now in the Boost Top 25. And also Hemet versus Moreno Valley. That one in the Inland Valley League. We're going to talk a lot more about that matchup in just a moment. And then Grand Terrace versus Eisenhower. Grand Terrace, very good. No, they're coming off a tough loss, but they're a very good team going up against undefeated Eisenhower. We got a couple undefeated teams right now in our coverage area. Eisenhower, Liberty, and Orange Vista. But circling back to that big Hemet versus Moreno Valley game, listen, couple of you guys, I should say several of you guys, hit me up on social media and said, Pep, you need to play up and hype up this Moval versus Hemet game. It's going to be big. Both teams are 5-1 on the season. This is basically your league title game in the Inland Valley League. If the coaches or the players don't want to say it, we'll say it. It's that big of a game for both these teams. So what we're going to do, we're going to hear from both head coaches. We're going to start with Jeff Galloway at Hemet. Then we're going to hear from Moreno Valley's Ted Wadkins as we break down this big-time matchup. So we start first with the Bulldogs, the visitors, as they go on the road Thursday night to Moreno Valley. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show to help us preview that big Moreno Valley versus Hemet football game coming up in Inland Valley League play. Head coach of the Bulldogs, Jeff Galloway. And Coach, I got to bring this up first because you just told me off the air. The last time we spoke, last time I had the privilege of interviewing you, you lost. Was that in softball the last time?
That was softball. That was 21 when we went back to the finals. And last time we had the interview, it didn't go so well for me on mine.
Well, you know what? There's some teams out there that actually say, hey, we got some of that good, inland sports mojo. The coach comes on or a player, and they do the interview, and they go out and they win their next game or win that title game or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So maybe this will be different, Coach. It's a different sport at least.
No, it's always good to interview with you, Pep. And it is a different sport. And, I'm just that softball kind of baseball superstition kind of comes out, in me every so often. So. But no, it's good. It's good. I'm excited for this game and this season, and we'll see where it turns to.
Coach, if I was going to ask you, are you a football coach and also a softball coach, or are you a softball coach who just happens to be also a football coach? Like, which do you lean either way? Little
history. I've been coaching football since '97. So, and in '99, I became the defense coordinator at Hemet under Coach Boynton. Mm-hmm. And then when they let him go, I ended up over at Talkwitz under Coach Gregovich. So I coached there for a couple of years. 2006 is when I came in coaching softball. So I'm a football coach, transitioned to a softball coach, and I really like softball. It's a real fast game. I love the girls, and I've been blessed with a ton of talent. So, and I've had a lot of talent at Hemet as well. We had Brandis Dew, we had Tavita Stevens, all those guys come through. A lot of guys went on to play the next level. And I'm just blessed that I was able to come back and get the opportunity now to finally become the head coach at Hemet and be in this program that has such rich tradition and history. And it's fun. It's fun. It's all fun. Coaching is fun, and that's what I love to do.
Coach, I might be wrong, and correct me if I am, but is Coach Thornburg on your staff still?
Coach Thornburg is on my staff. He's our strength coach, and he's also my outside linebacker coach. Great job. I have a great group. Coach Stephen Brown, the head baseball coach, is on our staff. I got Coach Hambley with me. He's our D-line coach, but I have a great staff. We all get along really well. We do a great job. I have a couple of returning players that played for us that are coaching with me, which is always good to have those guys come back and show the younger ones what it's about, and what they can do with the potential if they line everything up. So, no, it's fun. We have a great staff. We have a good time. And it makes coaching a lot more fun when you have guys you enjoy to be around.
Coach, what does the springtime look like for you? Because obviously you're doing softball, and the spring is an important time, even for high school football. The weight room. I don't know if you do 7-on-7, if you're into that sort of thing. But what does the spring look like for you? Is it pretty busy?
Yes, I'm real busy, and thank God there's lights because we can turn the lights on the football field to practice. But I'm not a big 7-on-7 guy because to me it's like basketball on grass. But we do it towards the end of spring coming into summer. So my main focus is the weight room. I believe that's where a lot of the foundation for football comes from is you got to be in the weight room and you got to be committed. And we're a little behind in the strength for the last couple of years. So now with Thornburg really running it and getting them where they need to be, there's been some big gains in the weight room and we're improving and, we're getting better every day and they continue to work hard and that's all we ask for.
Well, Coach, a 5-1 start to this season, let's rewind back to, let's say, July or August, going into the year. Did you look around the locker room? Did you look at your roster and think, you know what, this could be a pretty good team. We might be in the hunt for a league title. We might be able to string together a couple of wins and get into the playoffs. I mean, what did you think about this group before the season began?
We're pretty young still. So I was seeing, some inexperience in spots. we're thin. We don't have a lot of numbers. So, I'm always concerned about who we're going to replace who with if someone gets injured. I knew we had talent. And it's just, to me, it's how fast can these kids put our system together to be successful? And so far, they've been able to pick up our system, and they're putting it together well. And when I looked at us in the summer, realistically, I thought we might be a little bit above 500. I didn't think we were going to be gelling this well this early in the season. And we still have, if you watch our games, we still have a ton of room of improvement. We still make a lot of mistakes, and we still have a long ways to go. And we're headed on the right path. And ultimately, I guess, as long as we're at the top of our game when it comes playoff time, if we can get in there, then that's where we need to be.
Coach, is that the exciting part for you? Is that, you guys are 5-1 on the season, so obviously it's going well so far, but you feel like this team could, still play even, better football. There's still room for improvement for these Bulldogs.
Yeah, the exciting part is watching them grow and watching them pick up the offense and watching them pick up the defense and seeing their progression go. And then the best part is when you're on Friday night, you can make an adjustment just by talking to them without drawing it up for them, and they get it. That's when they're starting to see things and they're starting to do things. And defensively, we did that early on. In India, we were able to throw a bunch of stuff at them that we never really practiced, but it was within the scheme, and they picked it up. So that's been the bright spot. And offense now, all of a sudden, are starting to come around and come on. And so now if we can put them both together at the same time, they're going to be pretty tough to beat.
Coach, before we get to this Moreno Valley game, I do want to ask you, because it was still fresh in our minds, the Fairview Fire. I know you guys had to kind of shuffle your schedule a little bit and play Rialto on a different week. What was that like personally for you? Maybe some of your players or coaching staff in terms of trying to negotiate that week and basically probably deal with your family and friends and stuff more so than getting on the football field.
Yeah, well, with the Fairview Fire, I was affected by it. We had a couple of our football players that had to get evacuated. One of our football players, the fire went right to his back of their barn, and so he almost lost everything there. Thank God he didn't. The firefighters and our community, they did a great job of helping the surrounding community and Cal Fire and everybody. Where I was at, it was coming over the hill. I live out a little bit further out of town. Mm-hmm. We're in a more rural area where it was burning all the way back towards us. And the fire department, Cal Fire and all those guys, they were up in the air until 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they got the fire out before it got to where it was going to end up at our place. Basically, all we did is they shut school down for the week, so we couldn't do anything. We couldn't practice. I couldn't do anything with them. But we were preparing video-wise and all that stuff for them, watching film. I put up a test for them, so when they're watching their film, they have to answer these questions. And we were preparing as if we were going to end up playing that week. Well, they canceled it, so basically all it did is that week turned into our bye week. So now we're running into when we should have had the bye week of letting our team heal up and kind of rest a little bit more. It's just we're just running into one long season. And, at times you can see it in practice. Our kids are getting kind of tired, and I can see it, but I'm trying to instill a different little standard with them, hold them more accountable, and it's hard because I have to change that a little bit, and I think they think that I'm beating them up a lot when I'm just trying to get them to be accountable and do the right things all the time. And for the most part, I can't complain. Our kids in our program, 99% of them do exactly what we ask them to do. And they give us everything they got. We're always going to have those one or two athletes that, are always going to push our buttons or test us. But for the most part, they do really well. They practice really well. They're understanding everything that we're doing. And, things are coming along. So, the Fairview Fire kind of set us back a little bit. But what really hurts us is we've had 4 or 5 Thursday games.
Yeah.
So we're running on short weeks all the time, and it's tough. It's hard with trying to get our game planning, get everything done and ready on Monday that we would normally be doing on Tuesday, and having Monday to prep them. Well, we haven't got that luxury there this year, and we've had to play quite a few Thursday games, and it's tough. It's a tough go, especially with these high school kids and everything else they got going on. All their homework, all that stuff. School starting so much later, it puts them home later because practices are later now. So it's just hard on them, but like I said, I'm proud of our program and our team and the direction that they're headed. I just hope that we continue to grow and we continue to rise. I'm very pleased with the 5-1 start for sure. Really deep down, I really think, we should beat Liberty, but, Liberty's a solid program, and, coach over there, he does a great job with his staff and his kids, and, we had a few breaks go against us, and it didn't turn out well for us. So, and that's football. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Coach. You're probably a player or two away from, having an undefeated season right now. That is a very good Liberty team. I do want to, ask you about Moreno Valley. Sometimes I have to remind myself that you guys are not in the Mountain Pass League; that you're in the Inland Valley League now. But Moreno Valley's also 5-1. They've done some good things this season. Without giving away all your secrets, I mean, what do you think are the keys to victory against Moval this week on Friday night?
Moval's like a little double-headed monster. I mean, they got their quarterback that does really well running the ball, and then they have their back that does really well running the ball. Their line's pretty good size. I mean, they got a nice big line. They do a lot of things well, and, if we don't show up defensively and play our A game, they're going to give us everything we can handle. That's for sure. And same with defense. They got a lot of speed. I just think that, I think it's going to come down who can execute the best with the least amount of mistakes is going to end up with the victory, because we all know once you start playing, and we're getting deep into our season, and you start making mistakes, that's going to bite you, and that's going to come back and haunt you eventually. And, I think Moreno Valley is one of those teams that if we make a mistake or two, they're going to capitalize because they can score in a hurry. I mean, that 100-yard touchdown run, he still had to outrun everybody, So against Canyon Springs, so that was, he was moving.
Yeah.
That is for sure, like I say, though, that it looks like Coach over there's got them rolling. They're doing things well offensively. They look really good, and it's a little worrisome. It's giving me some sleepless nights, that's for sure. But I think after tomorrow, I'll have a better feel of where we're going to be. Right now, it's a coin flip, and just on where we're at, just because it's so early and. Again, it's a short week, and these kids are having to adjust, playing a Friday night game and then coming in on Monday, and we're full-blown practicing on Monday, getting ready for Thursday. So, but I think Moval's going to give us everything we can handle, and, we're going to sure do our best to give them everything they can handle as well.
Yes, it's funny you say that. It was a good reminder, too. I was looking at my schedule on the Inland Sports website. I'm like, it is another Thursday night game. I was thinking it was Friday, but you're right. Yeah, Moval and Hemet on Thursday night. Coach, with that short week, so what does that look like for you guys? Is it helmets and pads on Monday or Tuesday, or what does that look like?
Well, basically what happens is Monday becomes our Tuesday practice. Mm-hmm. So, but we have to combine everything. We have to combine our defensive game plan, offensive game plans on Monday, along with our walkthroughs on Monday, and then we have to get right into practice. Because, we don't want to lose days of contact practice. I don't like to go contact the day before a game, just to kind of let them heal up a little bit. So, we're going to go, Mondays is going to be combined like we would on Tuesdays, and then Tuesdays becomes our Wednesdays, and then Wednesdays becomes our Thursdays as if we were playing on Friday. So everything's moved up on the schedule, and it's a grind. And then, Friday, it's like, we think Thursday's a Friday night, and then it's like, we got to go back to work in the morning. And it's a 7:30 game on Thursday as well.
Yeah.
So it makes it even later, and it's like, we got to go back to work Friday. Okay, here we go. So it's a grind, and it's you can see it's wearing, but it's something that we can handle, and we're going to get through, and we're going to make the most of it, and our kids are going to give them everything they can give them.
Yeah, for the kids too. I mean, you got to get up early for work on Fridays. Kids got to get back to school on Fridays after a long night of playing football. But coach, is the silver lining that on Friday nights, do you go look at somebody else? Do you go scout somebody else, or do you enjoy a nice sit down dinner? What do you do on a Friday night?
Well, the blessing, I guess, like you say, is I get to spend a little time with the family. Because football takes a lot of time away, and high school football demands a lot of time, weekends and all that stuff. So. If we're not out scouting, or if we're not going to go look at someone else, then I'm going to come home. I'm going to get the kids out of practice or whatever early after film session, and then I'll send them home and let them go spend time with their family. Let them get caught up on their homework. I'll spend some time with my family, and because ultimately that's what it's all about, is being with your family when it comes down to it. Even though football is like a second family of ours, Then I get to spend time with my wife and my daughter that's home, and just enjoy the company, enjoy everything, and because football again takes up a lot more time than softball takes up. That's for sure.
Well, Coach, listen, I really appreciate the time. I know it's a big one against Mo Val this coming week, Thursday night, if you're watching this. And, I know it's only week 7, but in terms of league championships, I feel like this is a very important game in terms of, eventually crowning that Inland Valley League champion. Is that safe to say?
Well, it's safe to say this is a very important game. Pep, I don't look ahead to anybody. I don't look past anybody. That's never been my motto. I'm only one game at a time, 1 week at a time. And I try to instill that into our kids. So I haven't looked past Mo Val at all. I don't even look down the road of who we're playing, who's next, or what's going on. It's this week's the number 1 week. That's the most important week of any weeks that we're playing. I don't care past or present. It's now. This is the number 1 week, and it's every week is a big week for me. And there'll be lots of sleepless nights all the way up. Even the night before a game will be sleepless, and then after the game I'll unwind and it'll still be sleepless a little bit trying to figure out what we did wrong or what we could have done right, or even, celebrating a little bit after a big win and kind of relaxing and enjoying it, So right now I'm blessed. Our kids are doing well. Our coaching staff's doing a great job. And, let's just see what happens when the final whistle blows. Where are we at?
All right, Coach, let's end it like this. What's your celebratory meal? Like, if you got a big win, you're going to treat yourself. I know it's late, so maybe everything's not going to be open that late at night, but you win a big football game. What's your celebratory meal?
So if I win a big football game later, it's probably something like taco shop. Get me either pollo asado burrito, and then coming home and having a big old adult beverage and just relaxing at that point. That's celebrating it at that point, and just enjoying the moment, savoring it for as long as I can savor it for. Because then Saturday morning, I got to get ready for the next week.
It happens all over again.
Right.
Coach Galloway, listen, I really appreciate the time. Again, big one coming up against Mo Val this week 7 of the high school football season in Inland Valley League play. Best of luck. I appreciate the time, and maybe we can do this again once you guys are in the playoffs. I'm assuming you guys will be in the playoffs at this point. So.
Yeah, well, that's our plan. Our plan is to get through this game and get ready for the next game, Pep, and I appreciate everything you do for this football program and the Inland Empire.
You got it, Coach. That's Jeff Galloway, head football coach for the Hemet Bulldogs here on the Inland Sports Show. That was Coach Galloway from Hemet High School breaking down his matchup with Moreno Valley. That'll lead us into our first commercial break of the show. When we come back, we'll continue to preview that game between the Vikings and the Bulldogs as we check in with Mo Val head coach Ted Wadkins. That's next here on the Inland Sports Show Home Edition.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down and see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
What up, y'all? Boostman here, gonna break you off with a quick 2 cent. Success is not the same as talent. The world is filled with talented athletes who never find success at anything. They believe that talent should be enough and blame everyone else when things don't go their way. Make no mistake, being successful starts with you being your best you. It's never being satisfied, creating new goals until you reach your personal best. If you're good, you don't stop until you're great. And if you're great, you keep going until you're unstoppable. And that is true success. Boostman.
still won. Those are games you have to win, right? So, kudos to the Chargers for beating the winless Texans. And did you notice I said the Texans are the only winless team in the NFL? It's because the Raiders found a way to beat Russell Wilson and the Broncos, 33-23 the final score. So, if the Raiders would have lost that game, Patrick, the odds of them turning things around and making to the playoffs were almost zero. Not completely. I'm telling you, there's still a chance, but if they would have lost, it would have been very, very, very hard to come back. Let's talk about some good old American college foosball. How about the city of Los Angeles, man? We got USC, number 6 in the nation at 5-0. We got UCLA, also at 5-0. They creep into the top 25. They check in at number 18 after beating Washington this past Friday night. All of a sudden, college foosball in Southern California got really, really good with the Trojans and the Bruins. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. Talking more about that big Moreno Valley versus Hemet game. But first, our big boost play of the week, because it involves a Moreno Valley player. Sports. Check it out. Robert Riles is the man. Moval versus Canyon Springs. The Cougars look like they're going to punch one into the end zone when Lyles picks it off, and he goes 100 yards back the other way. The pick 6 for Robert Riles, man. Big time play. That's our big boost play of the week for Moreno Valley. So, big time play, big time win against Canyon Springs to open up Inland Valley League play. But things will get much tougher this week as they take on Hemet in what could decide the league champion in the Inland Valley League. Here is Vikings head coach Ted Wadkins, going on close to 20 years as the head coach for the Vikings. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He is the head football coach for the Moreno Valley Vikings, having a great season. Picked up their first league win in Inland Valley play last week, and a huge game coming up against Hemet this coming Friday. It is Ted Wadkins of the Vikes. And Coach, man, congrats on this 5-1 start. I know you got a big one coming up against Hemet, but what have you liked about your Moreno Valley team through the first 6 games of this season?
Hey, Pep. Thanks for having us, first of all. We got a group of kids that during this whole COVID thing the last 2 years, we had a lot of seniors quit on us and to go get jobs, this and that. So we got a group of about 25 sophomores from 2 years ago that have played a ton of football and stuck it out, never wavered, never quit. So we got about 25 kids that got about 2 years, 3 years under their belt of good experience. So that's what this group's pretty resilient in that respect. So.
Yeah, especially for your senior class, they've been through a lot the last couple of years. Do you think that plays out on the field? Like you said, they've been through a lot. They've seen a lot. They've had to persevere through a lot. And now, as seniors, they're kind of like these seasoned, gritty guys, who are not going to be phased maybe if they're in the fourth quarter and they're down by a couple points. It's like they've already been through a lot, and they're probably better for it.
Oh, absolutely. When they were sophomores, like I said, probably 10, 12 of these kids started as sophomores, and we played Arupa Hills, San Jacinto. So we played some dudes when they were sophomores, and so they got battle tested early. And like I said, they were good last year as juniors, and now they've been really good for us as seniors this year, and yeah, they've been tested.
Coach, when you look at the Inland Valley League, I kind of thought Hemet and Moval might be the two teams to watch, in terms of winning that league championship. And I know it's, only week 7. We still have several weeks of the regular season, but maybe I'm being over dramatic, but this is a big game in terms of trying to crown a league champion, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. If Hemet gets by us, we don't have another shot at them, and I don't see Canyon Springs or Valley View beating them. So really to us, this is a league championship game, and we know that there's no one behind us that Hemet's going to lose to, so we feel like we got to get it done in this game.
Coach, going into the season, what kind of expectations, what kind of goals did you have for this team? Because obviously you knew who you had on your team. You knew about your seniors and everything they've been through, and all that great playing time you said as sophomores and now seniors. Like, did you look around the locker room and think, this is a team that could bring home a league title, and who knows, when CIF rolls around, who knows what happens if we string together a couple wins?
No, absolutely. That was from the very beginning with this group. The last 2 years, we've been building towards this, and we knew at the beginning of the season that this was a good group that had a chance to be 9-1, 8-2, 10-0 type of a football team. So, yeah, we've been gearing for this.
Coach, what have you been more impressed with? You've had a couple games where offensively you guys have scored a lot of points, but you also, for example, you're coming off a shutout win against a Canyon Springs team that's very much improved. Like, offense or defense, what are you more impressed with your team this year?
We've been able to score when we needed to score. The funny thing with our defense is we've given up some points, but, if you look, we've given up a couple kickoff returns that didn't really go against our defense. We've given up a couple scores late in the fourth quarter that were against some young guys. So our defense has really played outstanding football as well. But, our offensive side of the ball has been able to move the ball consistently in every game. And we have a couple different styles of offense. You shut one down, we'll go to the other. And so we've been successful with finding a groove in each game to be able to make us successful in the game.
Okay, offense, finding its groove, and apparently there's a pretty good offensive coordinator, I guess, for the Vikings, right?
My son's been doing it now. I think this is his third year calling plays for us. He played for me, graduated, so he knows our system really well. And he's been calling the plays the last 3 years, and this year, by far and away, he's kind of found a groove for himself.
Well, I remember Dane was a great quarterback, but Coach, let me ask you, trying to put words in Dane's mouth here, but when he was a player, did he ever say, Dad, I'm going to come back and coach with you? Like, I want to be a coach too. Did it just kind of happen that way?
I think injuries caused that to happen. His dream was to go play college football, and he was a heck of a quarterback, but tore his ACL 3 years in a row in high school. So, it kind of ended his dream as far as playing at the Division I level. So, he naturally kind of came into the coaching circle, and he's been with us probably the last 5 years, 6 years as a coach for us, so he's doing well.
Coach, let's do a little name dropping. Some of your top players this season. I know Adonis Hill, your quarterback, he's a real special guy, but who are some of the top players that the Vikings have had so far this season?
A.J. Anderson started off extremely well for us. We really haven't had him the last 3 games against Arroyo Valley. He got his ankle tweaked in the first play of the game, so he hasn't really played the last 3 games. So Jacasio, another running back, has stepped up for us and carried the load as far as running back go. Tron Henderson has been outstanding on both sides of the ball as a defensive player, offensive player. He caught 3 touchdowns last week against Canyon. T.J. Pryor's done extremely well. Rob Riles, who had the interception return last week for a touchdown, has really surprised me offensively, been a lot better for us offensively than I thought he could be. So he's really done well for us. And another kid named Paz Parker has done an outstanding job on both sides of the ball for us.
Coach, how do you keep the guys focused? How do you keep them dialed in? Here we are week 7. And I know the playoffs seem like they're right around the corner. And, big one against Hemet, but then you got 3 more regular season games. But how do you just keep them focused on, playing their best level and hopefully peaking and being even a little bit better as you get closer to CIF?
That's tough, especially at a school like ours. Kids are, kind of all over the place, but we try to do it a practice at a time. We don't even go at a game at a time. We try and go a practice at a time because you might have one bad practice, and so the next day you got to have a good one. So, it's one of those deals that it's just a day-to-day basis, and let's get refocused. We didn't have a good practice yesterday. We got to be good today, and these kids have responded pretty well to that.
All right, Coach, let's wrap it up like this. You play Hemet, obviously a big game in the Inland Valley League. What do you think you guys have to do well to get a win against the Bulldogs?
We got to stop their run, first and foremost. They run the ball like we do a ton, and then we got to get our guys in space offensively. And I think our speed hurts them a little bit, but, they're definitely going to run the ball at us, and so we got to stop their run. That's first and foremost. And then, like I said, we got to get our guys in space and let them go.
So you could be eating dinner by 9 p.m. on Friday if you guys both run the football like that. That could be the fastest game around.
Yeah, us and Chafee a couple weeks ago, if it wouldn't have gone into overtime, it was done at 8:35.
That's my kind of game.
Yeah. So, like I said, that we're both going to run the ball at each other, and whoever can stop the run is probably going to be and turnovers will probably play a factor too. But I think whoever stops the run will probably win the football game.
Well, Coach, listen, I really appreciate the time. Congrats on that 5-1 start, and obviously a big one coming up against him. Best of luck, and again, appreciate it, and hopefully we can catch up again, maybe in the CIF playoffs. I got a good feeling about you guys this season.
Yep, we're looking forward to it, and hopefully we can make a good run at the end of it.
All right, that's Moreno Valley head football coach Ted Wadkins here on the Inland Sports Show. All right, so that was Ted Wadkins, head football coach for Moreno Valley. That'll take us into another commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we will further look at the Boost Top 25 poll for this week, and we'll try to explain some things. You guys have some great questions and some great comments on social media, so we'll talk more about the Boost Top 25 when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. We are back right here at the Boost Performance Center with Coach Ray Bass, a.k.a. the Boost Man, with another gridiron question. Good one this week, Coach. As we want to know, is there a secret to training athletes that other athletic trainers, they wouldn't say anything. They want to keep their lips sealed?
Absolutely. There's no methodology, no advanced drill, no trainer who can take you to the next level if you're not willing to put in the work. You can't wait for someone else to make it happen for you, because in reality, it's all on you. You know, there's athletes that'll say, I need to train with this piece of equipment, or I need to train with these types of people. But again, in reality, it's all on you as the athlete. Now, don't get me wrong, Pep. Being a knowledgeable and skilled trainer is important, but it's less about what I do for my athletes and more about what they need to do for themselves.
All right, Coach, secrets revealed right here at Boost Performance Training. That is the Boost Man himself, Ray Bass, and you can send us a question for a future gridiron question right here at Boost by hitting the DMs all over Boost Training on social media.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. Home edition. Again, our director, Johnny Nunez at Teen Vision TV 16, working on a big science broadcast this week. So doing the show from home this week. We'll be back in the studio come next week. But let's take a look right now at our Boost Top 25. Now, we posted this on, I think it was Monday morning or Monday afternoon. Got a lot of great feedback from you guys. Just want to further explain some things right now. One of the big takeaways, I think, from this week in the top 25 is we've got our first tie of the season. We do use a formula. We do crunch some numbers to come up with these rankings. And Yucaipa and Murrieta Mesa come in tied at 24 right now. Both at, Mesa at 3-3, Yucaipa at 4-2 right now. Time for 24th place in our rankings. Also, quick note, Temecula Valley is 4-2 on the season, not 3-3 right now, so we'll get that fixed on the next poll right now. But the big question, and I've heard this from a lot of people, is, teams that are like undefeated, or maybe they're 5-1, are they better or not as good as maybe, for example, Chaparral? Chaparral's 2-4. Let's say Eisenhower, who's 6-0, and Liberty is 6-0. Is Eisenhower and Liberty better than Chaparral? Has Chaparral played a tougher schedule than those other teams? That's the great debate right now, right? You guys are really piling on social media. We love hearing from you guys. You post some great questions. And I think sometimes some of the questions you're asking, I'm not saying you're wrong. You might be right. And that's why the debate is so fun. So a lot of these teams, you got to give them credit for playing tough non-league schedules, all right? And then some, so a team like Chaparral, 2-4. And then you got a team like Eisenhower Liberty, who are 6-0, which is great. And I'm happy for the Bison and the Eagles. But is their schedule tougher or not as tough as Chaparral? That's what you guys are debating right now on social media. So that's our Boost Top 25. And again, we'll do it each and every week throughout the football season. Before we go, let's take a look at one more time at our Week 6 Inland Sports All-Stars. Running back Bo Bruin from Ramona High School. Cameron Taylor, running back from Harupa Hills. Centennial QB Izzy Carter on the ground, through the air, getting it done in that big win against Chaparral to kick off Big West play. Binky Harris, QB for Indian Springs. And Asia Chapman, the running back for Murrieta Valley. And those are our Week 6 Inland Sports All-Stars. We will do All-Stars, again, every single week of the high school football season. So if you've got a player on your team or maybe a teammate that had a big game, make sure you are following Inland Sports on social media. That's the easiest way to give us stats. And I appreciate you guys sending stats. In fact, a bunch of you send me stats like on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, and I appreciate it. But the disclaimer here is we pick our All-Stars from Thursday and Friday night, right? We pick those usually on Sunday. So like a day or two after that week is done for high school football, that's when we pick the All-Stars. So if we don't have your stats, let's say by Sunday night, probably the latest, then we'll have to wait for the next week. So, but again, send us your stats each and every week. We really do appreciate. And now joining us here on the show, live from the stately Gorham Manor, as he always calls it, is Jeff Gorham, the Big Jeezy, Mr. Riverside. Jeff, you're supposed to put the glasses over your eyes if you want to see something, man.
Yeah, but my beautiful baby blues get all reflective. I don't want that. How are you, my best friend in the world? You call me Gorman. What the hell's wrong with you?
I was saying Gorham Manor, and I mushed it all up together.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Couple things. Luke and I were just saying, Luke, you're a statue. You have a really good haircut, by the way. Turn sideways. That is straight G.I. Jane.
Hey.
Don't come punch me, Will Smith.
So here's the deal, and I got to call you out on this. So last week, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday, I went in the garage and I started cutting my own hair like I always do.
Yes.
And I usually do like a 4 or 5 on top, and then I do like a 1.5 or a 2 on the sides. Well, when I was doing the sides and the back, the little guard, the clipper guard that goes over the sharp part, it came off a little bit. And I was like, oh, hope I didn't mess up the back of my hair.
No.
So like on Saturday or Sunday, my kids tell me, hey, Dad, you got like a square in the back of your head. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, you shaved it like a square in the back of your head. And I saw you on Friday night. Nobody told me.
Yes. Okay, cover your ears, Luke. Cover your ears. Hey, you SOB, you look great. You've never looked better. Okay, uncover. You're good.
Yeah.
Just sit back there and shush. What are we talking about?
Hey, so we got Arlington versus Norta Vista Friday night on Riverside TV. And in fact, this is going to be the third week in a row I've seen Arlington. But for Norta Vista, Jeff, I know you're excited about this one because in terms of at least Riverside football or Riverside County football, there's not a hotter team than Norta Vista. We remember talking about that, losing that first game of the season against Hesperia, but Norta Vista's turned things around. They're on a roll right now.
It's a sham. Ken Batdorf is a sham. He's been doing it he's a charlatan. He's a snake oil salesman. He's been doing it for 29 years. I don't know how he's averaged over 7 wins a year for 29 years.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long, long time. And, of course, we just celebrated what was his 200th career win. So it's 2-0. I think he's at 203, I want to say.
Who knows? He's old, decrepit. But I will say this. Ghazal Hassan gave him fodder for the chalkboard. Because I like to call it chalkboard. He thinks that Arlington is going to come in and take care, or I shouldn't say take care, but give the Braves a game.
Ooh. Juicy. That's a sizzling hot take right there.
So I'm telling you right now, Ken Batdorf is calling out Ghazal Hassan on his. Yeah, he did, and he showed the entire team. But guess what? Ken Batdorf said, Gorham picks the Braves no matter what. So I'm okay, but Ghazal Hassan is fodder.
Uh-oh. Well, listen, we've got, Arlington against Norta Vista, obviously on Riverside TV. I'll be out there with you for that one.
You better be.
Ghazal has as well. But the other game, Patriot against Hillcrest, that might be the better of the two games. I think, is that one also on Riverside TV?
It's juicy, my friend. We always talk about juicy, and I really do think that's the game of the week. You can put up all the old inland sports stuff, the machine that spits out, but that is a juicy game, and we have it. J.R. Ibarra and Nick Rice are calling the game, and that is going to be the game of the week. The reason that you and I and Ghazal are on the Norta Vista Arlington game is because we love those guys, and we can do what we want with them. We can talk smack to Ken Batdorf. We can go over and say hi to Kevin Argamosa. We can go say hi to Rick Covington, and we have a great time. But that game is juicy on Riverside TV.
I can't wait. Yeah, there's some good ones. Hey, I was looking at the River Valley League right now. So obviously Novi's got Arlington this Friday on Riverside TV. Next Thursday, they've got Patriot, which, we saw Patriot. They look pretty good, man. Chris Fowler has been playing good football. And then the week after that, week number 9, it's Ramona and Norta Vista. It's at Ramona, in case you're wondering. So there's some big weeks coming up for Norta Vista right now.
I'm going to give fodder to Norta Vista. Ramona's going to beat you, and I work at Norta Vista High School.
Yeah, listen, I don't think anyone's going to argue against the fact that Ramona is the team to beat in the River Valley League. We got so used to saying that Novi, right, is always the number one contender, the team to beat.
Yes.
But this year, it's Ramona. They've got a great senior class. But the thing is, here comes Novi from out of nowhere, man. Like, everyone wanted to just bury them in the grave early on in the season. But Novi is on a roll right now. All of a sudden, that's going to be a very intriguing game when they play Ramona in 2 weeks.
Well, I hope every Novi player watches this and goes, Coach Gorham, you gave us a hard time. I want the best football game ever. That's it. I want the best football game ever. I love Ken Batdorf. I love Ken Mashinsky. I like his wife even better. I don't know why, but she's wonderful. And the Rams are going to win the River Valley League title. But Novi is going to make the playoffs again.
Yeah, they should get into the playoffs. And, who knows what division they might go into. Maybe 8.
What are you talking? Hey,
9.
wait, whoa. Have you not seen Ghazal Hassan's projections?
No, where does he have them?
Oh, you go to the Broadcaster's Tale or go to Baron Zemo or Ghazal Hassan.
Wait, that's a villain, isn't it? Isn't that a
Yes.
Winter Soldier villain?
Yes, but go to Ghazal Hassan's website and he has everything broken down. He only missed 3 games last year. Only 3 teams. He spends hours in Westwood thinking about
high school football.
But
hey, Jeff, earlier this week on the Coach's Perspective, I said that maybe JW North could be this year's version of Arlington. Remember last year, Arlington snuck into the playoffs, won CIF.
No, I don't remember that.
Title game. Of course you remember that. But I think JW North, if they can find a way to finish high enough in the Ivy League, depending on their division, I feel like they might be this year's Arlington. But they have to get into the playoffs first, which is easier said than done because the Ivy League is tough. It's kind of wide open outside of the perennial favorite Orange Vista. It's pretty wide open.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what Coach Madrill says. It's not the real Ivy League until you have all the Riverside teams. But I do agree with you. I think O.P. Vaiapulu and his sweet hair in the back and his toughness, I think North is going to win a lot.
So let's see. They got Rancho Verde tomorrow night.
They're going to beat them. I'm sorry, Rancho Verde.
Then they got Temescal Canyon, Elsinore, and Heritage. I think they win 2, 3, at least 2 or 3 of those games.
Okay, I agree with you. And this is why the Coach's Perspective, I'm very, very mellow.
You're very diplomatic.
Yes. But here on the Inland Sports Show, I can go crazy. Now, here's the deal. Nobody beats Coach Broach ever. I don't care what the Hemet guy says. I don't care what the guy at Moval says. By the way, he and Batdorf are buddies, and you can tell why, because they can't film themselves at all on the Zoom. They can't. They're terrible.
They don't like technology, huh?
No, but well, you know what though? It would do them justice if they did it like this. You know, like you do, like the girls do.
Yeah. Oh, you got to come, from the top.
Yeah, but here's what it was. Here it was. Oh yeah, Moval. We're going to be really good. I agree. I love Moval and I love Coach, but let's get into the 21st century.
You know what? I think in the last 2 years, we've seen a lot of ceiling fans, right? People complain about, oh my gosh, ceiling
I'm
fans.
guilty. Look at that. I'm guilty.
Yeah.
But look at that, though. We're Halloweened out at the Gorham Stately Gorham Manor.
Man,
okay, let's get back to football. Let's get back to football because I'll tell you this. Nobody beats Coach Broach. Stop telling me that everybody's going to beat. Nobody's beating Liberty. Nobody. They're going to be my dark horse CIF champions.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you this then, because I was already looking ahead to next week, week 8, and Liberty should be undefeated still, and they're going to take on San Jacinto, the Jack.
Didn't you just interview that coach? No, you interviewed the Hemet guy.
The Hemet guy. But yeah, I had Galliano, the San Jacinto coach, on a couple of weeks ago, not too long ago.
I like that guy? Do you know why I like that guy?
Why?
Because his wedding band matches his school colors.
Yeah, you're right, he does.
Yeah,
that's how much he loves the Jack.
Huh?
That's how much he loves the Jack. He rocks those school colors.
Oh, I live in Menifee. I don't know what our colors are, but I'm going to go Coach Broach every time.
You know what? Speaking of school colors and stuff, and I have no idea why this popped in my head right now, but I see you're wearing like a navy polo shirt right now.
Adidas.
It made me think of, it made me think of your run as the head coach at Santa Rosa Academy, which...
You mean it lasted like a week and a half?
Yeah.
I turned it into my assistant, Gabe Flores. He was wonderful. And guess what? I never want to coach basketball again or anywhere again because of that reason.
I don't know. I haven't even thought about that in years, and you're wearing that shirt, and for some reason I'm like, oh yeah, Jeff was the head coach at Santa Rosa Academy for like a week.
Yeah, you know why? You know what happened? They didn't let my kid into school. Why would I not coach there?
Yeah.
Santa Rosa Academy, I'm calling you out. By the way, the principal's gone. Everybody's gone. It's not a big deal. But I'm going to let my kid into school there, and I was going to coach. I was going to lead you guys to a CIF championship.
And they had it, and they let it go.
I know we're going crazy on the Inland Sports Show tonight, but man, Pep, I'll tell you what, this is the best ever. I love hanging out with you doing this. It's the coach's perspective is fun, but I can't do this.
It's more diplomatic. It's more serious. You know what I mean? This format is kind of more like a podcast where you just kind of shoot from the hip and, you know, it's not real structured. You just kind of talk and have fun like we used to do for 3 hours every single day. So
I don't think people. I'm sure people remember that we had the best radio show in the world. The world.
Yeah.
Damn.
And we had the ratings to prove it.
Yes, we do. You SOBs. And I don't like it because Pep's a very religious guy. So am I. And we're only about positivity here. But I am going to say this. Let's go over the top 25, please, my friend. And I want to say this. Oak Hills, you are not in the inland sport area.
I know. I always get people, you know, they're like, how dare you leave out Oak Hills? Or how dare you actually, I've had some people reach out to me from like the Coachella Valley out in the desert. Like, how dare you leave out Palm Desert? And I'm like, whoa, hold on, man. Like, we've been doing this since 2014. We've never covered Palm Desert. We've never covered Oak Hills. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. We just haven't. But if you know some businesses that out there that would like to throw us a bunch of money to cover those areas, let me know because we'll expand. But no, we never have. So it's no disrespect.
You know, the funnest thing about this whole thing is everybody always thinks, oh, the Inland Sports Show. It's a huge umbrella. Huge. But really, it's just it's how far we can drive. We don't want to drive everywhere.
And I'll say this, and I've said it before, and I put it out on social media. Jeff, when I first got down to the IE, which was 2011, I was at the Press Enterprise for like 2 years, and that was back when the Press Enterprise was actually separate from, the Orange County Register and the San
Yes,
Bernardino
whatever it is.
Sun,
Blah, blah, blah,
and the
blah, blah.
Daily Bulletin. Like, they were all separate newspapers.
Yeah.
So the press enterprise coverage area, like the teams they covered, is what we do right now for Inland Sports.
Yes.
No more and no less. It's exactly the same. So that's because I'm an old PE guy. That's the coverage area that I took. And some people are like, oh, you should grow. And I'm like, we can't even cover all the teams in the area that we have. How are we going to go more?
All right, I want you guys to understand this. Anybody that knows the Inland Sports machine, and we're going to pull the curtain back, 100%. It's just Pep Fernandez. And he has, I don't mean this in a bad way, because we have a lot of great workers. Kono, Daryl Trujillo, all the people that have worked with us. But right now, it is that guy right there.
Yeah. So
And
if anyone's watching right now and they want to throw down a couple bucks, we can go out and get more help. But right now, it is what it is.
Oh, but yes.
Times are hard. Times are hard for everybody. Gas sucks. I get it. All that stuff. Everyone's paying more for everything.
You know what it is? It's inflation.
Yeah.
It's inflation. But you're doing it all by yourself. So if anybody ever questions you, come see me. I'm 6'8", 300 pounds.
Yeah. Actually, truth be told, I do have a couple guys out there helping me, but not like we used to. We used to have, remember, we had like 7 or 8 interns at one time. Like, it was insane.
But they're all like working big time jobs.
I know.
All of the guys that used to work for us would get us coffee occasionally.
Yeah.
They're working for ESPN or ABC.
Yeah, ABC 7, ESPN. Cullen is the main sports anchor for, I think it's an NBC affiliate in North Dakota. Like, all these guys, they came to Inland Sports. They got all these great skills and networking, and then they just take off. And then
they leave us, and then they say, Pep, why is Oak Hill's not in the top 25?
Oh, my favorite is like, oh, this is totally politics. He's playing politics. Like, what are you talking about?
It's Pep Fernandez.
It's me sitting at my computer at like 2 a.m. on a Friday night going, that team is 4-2. Where should they go? Let me see. Let me do politics here because I like that coach, and that coach, he said this about me one time, and I'm not gonna.
All I know is, Pep, you do a great job, and I'm always going to support Pep Fernandez no matter what. But can we please get over start the top 25?
Yeah, let me see. I have the graphic right here. Let me see.
Do it.
This is the perfect segue to say Johnny at Teen Vision TV 16.
Johnny Nunez!
Can't wait to get back in the studio because it's hard doing it at home. It's hard. It's really hard. Okay, so Jeff, if I'm doing this right, let me make sure I got the rankings.
Is that a spit guard in front of your?
It keeps me from popping my peas.
What is that?
I don't pop my peas. Hopefully, when I say Pep Fernandez, I'm not popping my peas. Let's see.
Do you pop your peas?
I try not to. Let's see. I need to do. I think it's this one. All right. So let me see if I got this right. All right, Jeff. Do you see the rankings?
No, but I know them because
okay.
I'm a genius and I've memorized them.
So we got 3 teams. I'll throw out a couple topics here. 3 teams that are undefeated: Orange Vista, Liberty, and Eisenhower. Of those 3, who do you feel like might go through the regular season undefeated?
Okay, which one was the first one?
It was Orange Vista, Liberty, and Eisenhower. Those are the 3 teams we have.
Orange Vista is going to run the table.
That's hard to argue against. They look really good.
By the way, I'm pretty good at picking these things, you know.
Yeah. You're pretty good.
Okay. Pretty good. Okay.
Let's see. The other thing, also, we have some huge games coming up this week. Especially in the Rain Cross Conference, and I know you're a Rain Cross Conference kind of guy. We'll start in the Ivy League. It's Orange Vista against Elsinore, so I think you already answered that question because you feel like Orange Vista is going to run the table.
But the guy at Elsinore looks like Jerry Seinfeld, but better looking. And I love that guy.
He is Coach Tony Peralta, man. He's the stud. He's the man.
Can I tell you, Tony Peralta has his kids march and shake hands with everybody before the games. He's every man. He's every man's man. Elsinore, I'm sorry you're going down, but I do love you. You're wonderful.
All right, so that's the Ivy League. So the next league in the Rain Cross Conference is the Sun Belt League. It's Vista del Lago against Paloma Valley. I know you live in the vicinity of Paloma Valley, so don't play that home field advantage. Who do you like, Ravens or Wildcats?
Wildcats, close.
Ooh.
Because you know why? Do you know why?
No.
Because I remember going to those games and watching Chance Nolan and Menifee 24/7 going, "Are you Jeff Gorham?" And I said, "Yeah." And they go, "Do you work with Pep Fernandez?" And I said, "How dare you!" I love Paloma Valley. And honestly, I think they did Bert wrong. That was years ago. And Bert's awesome. But Paloma Valley in a tight one.
All right, so that's the Sun Belt League. And finally, the old Inland Valley League. In fact, you just saw the interviews with Hemet and Moreno Valley. They're going head-to-head. I feel maybe the coaches won't say it, but I feel like that's the league championship game as well, Hemet and Moreno Valley. Who do you like in that one?
Hemet. Only because I think Hemet's pretty darn good. But I will say this. Isn't Liberty in that group?
Liberty's in the Mountain Pass, not the Inland Valley. See, that's what's tricky. Like, Hemet moved from the Mountain Pass into the Inland Valley, into the Rain Cross. All
right, let's go with those guys then. But I do love.
All right, Jeff, again, let's wrap this up. Riverside TV, the old double dip. We will be at Arlington. We'll
Arlington
be at Novi. Norte Vista. That's our game.
Yes, we'll be at Novi. And they're putting they put in new lights at Norte Vista so we can see your cute face.
Oh, it's about time.
It's about time on the sideline.
It's about time.
Oh, Luke's asleep. I was going to have him jump on.
Oh, Luke's already – it's only 7:08 right now.
Dude, we take care of the Gorhams here. We go on bike rides. We slap box. We take naps. We take a lot of naps. But no, I'll tell you what, Pep, you're the best. And I'll tell you, we are going to be there Friday night. Riverside TV covers better high school sports than anyone.
That's it.
Coach's perspective on probably Tuesday nights because I don't want to do Mondays.
Oh,
I like to.
No, Columbus Day. We got a holiday coming up on Monday. Do you work?
Of course we work.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but that's double time at City of Riverside.
Bring it on.
Bring it on, baby. Love you, Pep.
Jeff, you're the best. The Big Jeezy, everybody. Jeff Gorham here on the Inland Sports Show. You can check him out along with Gazal. I'll be roaming the sidelines on the broadcast. Again, it's Arlington and Norte Vista come Friday night. See you, Jeff.
See you, buddy. Love you, Pep Fernandez.
And that is the Big Jeezy. All right, let's wrap things up here on the Inland Sports Show. Actually, Jeff, let me try to get you off the screen here. It's not working. Johnny boy. Oh, I got double pep. See, this is how bad it's getting over here. Come on. My computer does not want to cooperate. There it goes right now. It was double pep on the screen, and nobody wants that. All right, big thanks to Jeff Gorham. We appreciate it. Ted Wadkins, the head football coach from Moreno Valley, and Jeff Galloway, the head football coach for the Hemet Bulldogs. Big game in the Inland Valley League this week. In fact, there's a lot of big games. We talked about the Rain Cross Conference. There's some other ones as well. Make sure you're following along on Inland Sports on YouTube because we got a lot of great videos with our top games this week. The Ken Sporting Goods must-see game, which is Cajon against Citrus Valley. That's going to be a fantastic game. So it's a very big Week 7 here for high school football. If you're watching this right now, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and we also have a thanks button on each of these videos if you'd like to financially support what we do at Inland Sports, and that in turn supports sports here in the IE. I'm Pep Fernandez, and guys, listen, we will be back in the Team Vision TV 16 studio next week. Really looking forward to that. Johnny boy, we really miss you, man. Stay safe out there, everybody. God bless you. We'll see you next time.